My name's Adrian Buchan. I'm from the Central Coast of Australia. I'm 26 years old. I live on the Central Coast of New South Wales at a place called Avoca Beach. My parents moved from South Africa when they were about 30, so it's late 70s, and I was born early 80s. I started surfing when I was about 5 years old. Growing up at Avoca, it was a really amazing beach to grow up as a kid. There was, you know, probably 6 or so surfers on the tour at that time, and it was probably much like the Gold Coast is now to Australian surfing. And you know, I had guys like Shane Powell and Mark Sainsbury, Ross Clark-Jones to, you know, look up to as idols. Yeah, so my dad's a surfer too. He started surfing in Cape Town in the late 70s, and you know, he obviously wanted to, you know, show his son the ocean, and you know, I guess as a father, you know, nothing better than surfing with your kid. Hopefully one day I can do the same thing. Probably a highlight of my junior career was probably winning the World Junior titles at under 16s and the under 18s. And then I think I was still in school, and I surfed the World Juniors and came third to Mick and Joel down at Phillip Island, which was probably a big thing for me then as well. Yeah, being on the World Tour is amazing. It's you know, where I've always wanted to be all my life, and the first time I pulled on a, you know, CT jersey, you know, as a legitimate kind of like member of the tour, was an amazing feeling. It was something I worked really hard for, and you know, the sport's really professional now. It's got some, you know, some great icons in Kelly Slater and Mick Fanning, and you know, I just try and take a really professional approach and want to set a really good example for the kids. You know, when you first start out on tour, you come up against a lot of the big names straight up, because you're kind of the small fish, you know, and you got a low seed and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a baptism of fire, especially when you're coming back from an injury, you know. So to surf against Kelly and Andy and Taj and all those guys, you got to learn from your mistakes really quickly. You know, I think the injuries definitely make you stronger, and there's always times, you know, when you're injured and it's tough, you know, like you sit there at home and you're watching these guys that you compete against, you know, winning events or, you know, getting big results, and you really want to be there. And I think for me that kind of just really, you know, fuels the fire inside to put everything you can into getting back out there, and you know, when you are back out there, giving it everything and not having any regrets. Yeah, it's great to be, you know, up in the top 10 now, and to be able to, you know, surf against those guys with a lot of confidence, and you know, you got to kind of stop looking over your shoulder at them as your heroes, and you know, kind of look them in the eye and kind of know that you can take them down if you're on your game. Yeah, like Kelly, since I was 10 years old, has been my hero. Like, I you know, won't kind of lie about that. And to be able to have a heat against Kelly with all that was on the line was an amazing thing, and you know, something that I'll definitely look back on with really fond memories. But you know, when I paddled out, it was just another guy. It wasn't Kelly, and I had to kind of, you know, make sure that I didn't let the moment get the better of me, and I'm really glad I didn't, because you know, obviously there was a hell of a lot riding on it for him, and there was a lot of people ready to pop champagne bottles and, you know, bust out the shirts and the hats and etc. You can't really describe the feeling of winning, you know. Like, I think in any sport it's like, and that's probably why, you know, as a professional athlete it's addictive, you know, to win. You don't really know what it feels like. I mean, obviously it's amazing, but you try and kind of think back and imagine how it felt, and it's, yeah, it's just this kind of weird outpouring of emotions and of hard work and, you know, dedication and commitment. And you know, I think that's what makes guys like Kelly, you know, so remarkable, and that they've been able to kind of continually perform on that highest level for such a long period of time. And yeah, it's an amazing feeling, and it's something that I want to kind of, you know, feel again whilst I'm on tour. I mean, I think surfing's it's a growing sport, and I think we've still got a way to go in terms of kind of like community responsibility and you know, giving back to the community. I think, you know, there's so much coastline in the world, and surfing brings so many people so much happiness, and you know, I think it's a great way to deal with problems in life. And for me, if I can just kind of, you know, share some of the lessons that I've learnt with people that are having a tough time, I think that's a good way to kind of give back. And yeah, the Reach Out Foundation is just something that's set up to help kids that are struggling, that, you know, might be having tough times at home, or you know, dealing with youth suicide is a really big problem, not only in Australia but around the world. And it's like, it's just such a sad thing, you know, to see kids, you know, think that everything's that bad and it can't ever get better. So just trying to, you know, spread the word about that. And you know, we're not trying to like spread the gospel here. It's just about helping kids, you know.